Y'all, it is truly the end of the road for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. It is the end of the road. Now, we got to discuss this final image. First of all, this final image, honestly, is Chef's kiss, y'all. It is Chef's kiss. It is of Dolores Catania sitting in rails all by her lonesome with dishes askew, stuff thrown around, looking like the last mob wife standing. Okay, they've been teasing this image since the season first started, and we have finally made it to the finish line. And I want to know, whose side are you on now that you guys have actually seen the finale? Let us know in the chatterization if you guys caught last night's finale and what you would rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And while you are at it, everybody in the room, smash that like button when you chime into the room, y'all. When you step into the building, y'all, hit that like button so we can get this algorithm going. Okay. Candace says Jackie, aka Judas. Was Jackie not the biggest loser in this episode? If you ask me, Jackie Gold Snyder was last night's big loser. And I don't know who comes in quite second as the next biggest loser, but my spidey senses, it's hard to say. It's really, really hard to say. Okay. It is super hard to say. A lot of you are saying Marge ate last night. Marge handled business last night. She got played. Margaret is a savage. Okay. Jackie is not built for Real Housewives of New Jersey. Marge is not innocent. Team Trey and Team Jen, we got a lot. Lee says, I can honestly say the only side I'm on is Dolores. Everyone else at the table was doing dirty work in some way or another. Honestly, I have to agree with this statement right here. Dolores last night was probably my MVP of the episode. And the only thing stopping me from giving this episode a 10 out of 10 is the fact that we know they're not going to be getting a reunion. That is the only thing last night to me that stopped this episode from getting a 10 out of 10. But let's break it on down. Let's break it on down. YouTube user says Marge is an iconic housewife regardless of how you feel. Let me tell you what I do like about Marge. Marge is able to articulate herself without ever uttering a curse word. Marge does not have to call you out your name. Marge does not have to scream and yell at you. Marge doesn't have to do much but know information. And that is Marge's strong suit, and that is what she knows. Okay? That is what she knows. Now, that's a good question. YouTube user says the episode didn't give what they kept saying it was going to give, though. And I would have to agree with that. But the things to me that made it so close to a 10 out of 10 was some unexpected things that I really didn't see coming. Okay. Number one, Dolores, and we're gonna get to the I'm gonna get to like the episode description, because I know I like to read those now, because sometimes they be giving away some good tea. But this is season 14 and it's episode 13, the finale. We know that next week is going to be them watching the finale. We have seen a trailer for that. Y'all, pardon me. This bubbly right here, and this is not sponsored, got me over here with the burps. Anyway, let me oh, oh, last night was good for so many reasons. Actually, let me read that description right now for y'all. And I'm so glad we live. How y'all doing? I missed y'all so much. So the episode description reads: Dolores visits Marge and Jen Fessler. Tensions run high as Dolores explodes at Margaret after a disagreement. Danielle makes moves regarding her estranged relationship with her dad. Okay. Odd. That's an odd description for me because Danielle and her relationship with her family is not really something that I really care all that much about. I mean, I hope for the best for them and I hope it works out. But to be quite honest with you, I just feel like I don't understand the situation quite enough to really care, as a viewer. But again, from an objective perspective, Lord, let them work it out. You know what I'm saying? Jesus will pick you up if you have to reach way down. Okay, that's what the lady sang at church. Meanwhile, let's get to the episode. We start this episode off by seeing Jen Fessler go visit Marge. This seems to be right after Teresa's, dare I say it, somewhat lackluster Ponderosa, where she exposed that Margaret was meeting with Louis' ex-girlfriend. Now, to me, it wasn't like I didn't already feel like that happened, because I did, okay, personally. What's more interesting is Margaret's inconsistent tales about when she met with her, okay? Because right after the Ponderosa, Jen Fessler goes over and she meets with Margaret, who offers her some red wine. But Margaret is like, you better not spill none of that red wine on my sofa or on my coffee books. Not the coffee book, girl. Coffee books. If you don't get some more coffee books from Amazon.com or whatever the people do, I don't really know where they get the coffee books from. But the coffee books, to me, I mean, I'll be more worried about. And is it me, or is there so much design going on in Margaret's house? I have no idea what I'm looking at. Every time I go to her house, I feel like I'm looking at a kaleidoscope. I get dizzy. I get the vertigo every time I'm in Margaret's house. Lord have mercy. It be designs going this way and that way. And I think something was swerving and coming down from the ceiling. I think it was just, and somebody had just thrown up a wallpaper here and thrown it up there. It was flowers in the attic. It was flowers on the sofa. Girl, if she spills some wine, chances are you ain't gonna see it because there's so many designs, it'll fade right into the sofa. Meanwhile, so she gets to warning her, and the girl, and Jen is so frazzled. She's just like, "Girl, I don't even want this nasty wine no more because the wine was nasty." So anyway, Dolores calls. Okay, listen, I don't mind it either because I'm thinking about getting me some wallpaper too. So while I am being slightly dramatic because, I mean, that's just me. But anyway, I could use. I don't even really honestly, y'all. I'm gonna be. Like, can I just digress for 1 second, y'all? I sometimes loathe having to come and film in my studio because it ain't been painted yet. Okay, so honestly, y'all, next week when I do my videos, y'all are gonna see a cornucopia of designs. Okay, it's gonna be it's gonna be stripes and polka dots all in the background. I promise you. Okay, I promise you. My house is gonna be like Marge's house. Okay, whimsical is what they call it. That's what we're gonna do. Whimsical. Okay. Now, that's what. Remember when Dr. Heavenly walked into Phaedra's home? Oh God. So anyway, so then, Dolores stops by after leaving Teresa's lackluster Ponderosa, and she, lets Margaret know, girl, it wasn't a bash you session. She was just exposing that you met up with Louis' ex-girlfriend. And Marge is like, girl, I didn't meet that child. I met with her. I talked to her in 2021 or I don't know, in 2015. Something I can't remember. Something bit me. Do you want a croissant? or something like that, or some of this nasty wine. I can't recall if I met with her or not. Ooh, my memory is foggy. Oh God, I got fatigue. And so Dolores is looking at her like, why would you meet with her? Okay. And if I was Margaret, I would have been like, listen, yeah, I met with her because Jennifer and Teresa, met with my ex-best friend and tried to bring her on camera and they tried to expose me. So, in fact, I did meet with her. Now, that's the story she gonna tell later, but that's not what she tells Dolores right here in this moment. Now, I like Margaret. I've always liked Margaret. I thought that Margaret, when she came onto this show, I thought she was a great addition, and I still do to this day. In fact, you could call Margaret one of the best reality TV villains that New Jersey has ever had, because whether you like her or not, Margaret is usually on top of things. But she wasn't on top of things today because Dolores came in and Dolores had a mission. Dolores was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Dolores was a Sherlock Holmes girl. So Dolores comes in her messy bun. And she's like, let me sit down and talk to you, honey, because I got to find out what's going on. What's the tea with you? So then some kind of way they get onto whether or not Margaret invited Dolores to the pre-reunion strategy session. Okay. Now, I don't know what you want to call this session. Now, I'm going to say this. It seems to me that every show probably does this. I'm sure before the reunion, every show that you done seen, most of the girls probably get together to meet if they on the same side to say, okay, girlfriend, I know I need you to have my backup. Bo Dietl been investigating us. Who else has he been investigating? It seems like the smart thing to do to me. But for whatever reason, Dolores wants no part of this Ponderosa. And when Margaret says, well, you know, girl, I called you last year to invite you, Dolores is like, you're an effing lion. See you next Tuesday. No, you did not call this woman a see you next Tuesday in her own home to her face. I would have been like, girl, if you got to go. Security, get her out of my maze. Get her out of my maze, and she got to go right this second. And to me, I'm just going to say it like this. I love Dolores. Dolores is one of my favorite people, and I'm not going to read the comments just yet because I ain't going to change my tune on this one. But to me, Dolores doth protest way too much in that moment. Now, I don't listen, whether or not the girl invited you or not, the way that Dolores was screaming and cursing at this woman in her own home told me that either it's one of two things, that Margaret is really lying, or that Dolores is so afraid of having knowledge of this pre-reunion meetup, and she is afraid that Teresa is going to find out, okay, and then be upset with her. Thus, she needs to discredit Margaret the way it was. Why was you going off so strong about that, Dolores? You ain't reacted that strong to a whole lot of other things, but that is what I was like, to me, I was like, Dolores, why are you reacting like this? And it just felt a little telling. But on the flip side of that, if Margaret, see, and this is where I have a problem. I felt like Dolores overreacted. But now that I know that Margaret has muddied the waters about when she met up with Louis' ex, I kind of have to look at Margaret now with a little side eye too, because I'm like, Margaret, now you usually be on top of your game, but you slipping, because later on you're going to tell us a different story. So which is it? And now I don't know whether or not to believe you or not. So if you was lying to Dolores' face, you was gaslighting her, in which case you deserved for her to snatch your wig the way she snatched it, okay, in your own home, in your maze and cornucopia of wallpaper, okay? No shade. So I'm on the fence really about what happened in that moment, but baby, it was good to me. Because what I saw in that moment was something I ain't seen in a minute. Was I love seeing Dolores fired up. I hadn't seen her that fired up in a very long time since Danielle Staub was on the show. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is one of the moments that made this episode so good, was because you see two friends going at it about something that we won't ever know the truth about, right? We won't ever know the truth. It could have been that Margaret invited Dolores and Dolores paid it no mind, right? So Jennifer, with red wine Jennifer, she steps in and is like, hold on, girls, this is too much for me. What are you doing on this show, girl? Don't you know that this show is Mob Wives squared? Okay. You came on this show thinking that you was going to be in peace. Girl, no, you are in pieces. All right. You are in pieces. You are shattered. And this is too much for your sensitive soul. So, girl, you probably need to go to Real Housewives of New York City with these new girls where they don't do much, okay? But over here, they fights and they throw things and they flip tables. You ain't seen season 1, okay? You don't know about this show? What are you doing here? Okay, trying to add some class to this mix. We ain't asked for that. All right? All right? All right, I know who you think you is coming in here thinking you're going to change the game up. No, these girls like to fight. Now, okay, this is close to Zeus. Okay, if you want something not close to Zeus, might I suggest you go to somewhere else. You go to a HTV TV show, but you don't. This ain't for you. Okay, they fights over here. Now, some kind of way, Dolores and Margaret hug it out. They fight like sisters, and that's what I do. When I get angry with my sister, I calls her to see you next Tuesday. Not okay. If I call my sister see you next Tuesday, my sister will probably try to mollywop me, and she might win. Okay, she might. Now she's 10 years younger than me, but my sister lift weights, so I shan't try it. All right, but I'm still older. Now I get her. Okay, but we ain't fighting over here like that. Meanwhile, Danielle Cabral meets with her husband. I keep looking for the man boobs that Jennifer Aiden talking about, but I don't really see him like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's an attractive man, and he seems to love his wife. So I don't like Jennifer Aiden talking about that man's man boobs. I really don't. I just don't think it's right. He seems very supportive of his wife, even if I don't know what she's talking about with this family issue. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's what she needs. She need to go on the Beverly Hills where they don't. Well, I don't know. Renna threw a glass in season 5, but that's about it. Oh, Brandy did slap Lisa Vanderpump, so maybe they do fight over there too. Never mind. Anyway, moving right along. I don't know. It's some kind of update about the family. I'm more interested in these kids on the Kids Bop. And was it me or did Danielle Cabral like Melissa and Joe Gorga get a commercial in last night's episode? I'm like, well, girl, this show might have been lucrative for you. Okay, you might be on your way to getting Jennifer Aiden money. All right. So Teresa meets with Louis in preparation for the event. Okay, is it me or is Louis like a Peter Thomas? And this is no shade to Peter Thomas. What I mean by that is I'm talking Peter Thomas on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not talking Peter Thomas the businessman, the mogul. I am talking Peter Thomas in his Real Housewives of Atlanta days. And what I mean by that is I feel like Louis is so entrenched in the drama with the girls that it is crazy and maybe because he has been the subject of much of the talk, But I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Louis was the subject of much of the talk since he came onto the show and since he came into Teresa's life, because the man came with a lot of baggage. Let's just call a spade a spade. The man came with a lot of baggage. Period. All right. So the streets been talking about you, and they're gonna talk about you more because you're on a reality television show like The Real Housewives of New Jersey, where the theme is let's bring up the husband. Okay. So, this is par for the course. But maybe since they talking about him, he like, you know what? I'm gonna talk smack back. And he talk about, listen, that man dragged everybody. He didn't drag Rachel and her husband. He didn't, I mean, because they kind of, didn't drag him too a little bit. But he dragged Margaret and her son. Oh my God. He was like, yeah, I wish nothing good for her or her son. I was like, well, dang, now how the son get into it? Won't you the one investigating him? Allegedly. Let me put the alleged badge up here before he come after me. Lord have mercy. I don't want no smoke with the man. So anyway, Auntie, you shady. So anywho, what I did like about this episode too, as we see Teresa and Joe Gorga, it was so sad to look back on some of the relationships the way they used to be, like with their mom and their dad. And, that was touching to me because I've been a long time viewer of this show since season 1. So to see all these moments back in time, it really reminded me of so much of the goodness in Real Housewives of New Jersey. But it also reminded me that this show has been toxic from the beginning, So it's befitting that it ends with toxicity. And so here we are. All right. So Melissa and Joe meet up before the Ponderosa, and they have a similar conversation where Melissa basically has established boundaries with Teresa, and she asked Joe, do you want me to continue those boundaries, or do you want me to try to make amends? And Joe Gorga is like, I'm done with her. And then Teresa is like, I'm done with him. And so everybody's done with each other. But let me tell y'all something. A little something about life. These two individuals who have lost both of their parents, okay, because they have lost their relationship with each other because of a television show for which there's the possibility that neither one of them will be on anymore, right? And so as these two people get older, I'm going to tell y'all something about life, okay? Life has a really, really funny way of showing you that anger, hostility, and negativity amongst family members, it really ain't worth it. And the problem with Teresa and Joe is they are going to realize this a bit too late. Mark my words. Now, I'm not speaking ill or negativity on their lives because I really don't want that. But I do want them to, at some point in time, whether it is off the show or on the show, to get past whatever these issues are, because at the end of the day, what they are going to discover is, because they have children that are cousins, is that life is too doggone short. And another thing that I'm going to say is that you, as reality TV stars, y'all, not that any of them are listening to me right now, but y'all cannot let these fans or reality TV get in the way of what is truly important, and that is your family, because you only get one chance at life. And y'all wasting time right now fighting over some ish that ain't really all that important. Y'all ain't really got no true issues with each other, to be quite honest with you. True, y'all might not like the fact that Teresa married Louis, but at the end of the day, y'all got to let this woman live and make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, or whatever she may be doing. Because even if she's making a mistake right now, she's happy in this moment. And that's that. Okay. And Teresa, you may not ever like Melissa, but you got to respect the fact that your brother has married this woman. And now you have nieces and nephews that are looking at you. Both of y'all have nieces and nephews that are looking at y'all. And this is the way that they're going to remember your relationship. Remember that. All right. I've gotten off my soapbox, back to the Zeus. Okay, so Dolores has planned, oh my God, she's gone out of her way. She's gotten goodie bags. She's got, Jen Fessler, to help her. Jen Fessler, who belongs on a completely different show, to help her set up this event down to the rails. Now, you longtime Real Housewives of New Jersey fans will recall that Rails has also been it has been a staple on Real Housewives of New Jersey. It is last where they had an infamous blow up with Jacqueline. I don't know if you guys recall that season where Jacqueline went off the rails, but it's par for the course for this show. So, I don't know why Dolores would be expecting anything else. And was it me, or throughout this episode, as everybody is talking about this Last Supper, did you not get the feeling like, did y'all know? Because clearly this happened last October because they was carving pumpkins. Did y'all know that this was the end of the show for y'all? Because everybody keeps talking about this Last Supper, like I'll never have to see these people ever again. Did you know that you had worked yourselves out of a show? I'm just curious. Anyway, so the ladies all begin to arrive, and everybody looks their wives best. Yes, they do. They come in, Rachel arrives, and Danielle Cabral arrives, and then Melissa arrives, and then Jennifer Aiden arrives. Now, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on Jen because I got to have a special talking about for her. And so Teresa is the last to arrive. Now, Dolores wants everybody to sit across from the person they got the most beef with, so they can easily throw things at each other, right? You know what I'm saying? Why? I don't want to have to throw the speaker all the way down to the end of the table because I might miss the person that I'm intending to hit. I want to be able to throw it right at you. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what Dolores is after. That's the way this is designed. But Teresa, oh no, she's much smarter than that. Teresa says, I'm not going to sit in front of Margaret because you're going to be wearing whatever is in front of me. Okay? Smart. That's smart that woman is. She's always one step ahead of the crowd. So then they decide to kick things off. Who better to start with than Danielle Cabral and Jennifer Aiden, who last they spoke, interacted. I mean, it didn't go well, ever since that, tussle that they had down to Teresa's Tulum party. Well, as they start and Danielle starts, trying to, convey her issues with Jennifer, who she does not do that good of a job conveying those issues. Jennifer has secretly been sitting on her insults for quite some time. Okay. You cannot pay me to think that Jennifer Aiden did not come up with those reads prior to. However, that girl has a dangerous and vicious mouth. And that girl will go lower than the flow, okay? Because while Danielle insulted her and implied that Jennifer is in a loveless marriage, okay? It was Jennifer who went the lowest to me, talking about the husband's man boobs. And the man can't help it. Okay, if he got the man boobs, he got the man. That is called gynecomastia. You know what I'm saying? It is extra fat around that area. Now, I'm not saying the man got it. I'm just talking about the condition for which she is describing. And if she is describing it as such, the man can't help that. And how he even get in it? What did he do to you? But the thing about it is, Jennifer knew that was going to be a trigger for Danielle. Now, the problem with arguing with someone with a mouth as slick as Jennifer Aiden's is, number one, she rich. Okay, so whether or not you in the right or the wrong, right? A lot of people think that, well, I mean, I got a lot of money, so I can say what I want to say, and you want my life. Because I'm rich. I'm going to go back and count my Ferraris, baby. All right, and all of that may be true. But the problem with arguing with someone who is not afraid to go lower than the flow, okay, is unless you are willing to go to HE double hockey sticks, then you are never going to win with that person. The only thing left for you to do is throw something at them, okay? So you either, Danielle, have to go lower, okay, which you could have if you were that quick. But the problem with Danielle is she not that quick, okay? Because the actual insult that she should have actually used against Jennifer was, I wonder where your husband is right now. Okay. If you want to talk about my husband and his man boobs, let's talk about where your husband is. Girl, do you have a tracker on him? Okay. Because last we heard a couple of seasons ago from Margaret that man had been cheated on you. Is he cheating now? Okay. Where is he? You might want to check him. Text him right now, girl. Because I don't think he at home. I don't think he doing the surgery. Last I heard, girlfriend, he was down to the Motel 6. You might want to do a drive-by in your Ferrari, girl. Now, see, but I'm not that low. So I wouldn't have said it either. Even though I just said it just now, I'm just giving you an example of how low you have to go. But because she's not willing to cut to the, as you say, Dream Pro Studio, cut to the white meat, unless you're willing to take out your carving knife and get and grind down to the bone, unless you're willing to do that, girl, you probably need to not even try to your best bet is just to say, girl, let's squash our issues. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, your only recourse of action is to throw something, which is what she did. Now, there have been some talk about people saying that a lot got cut out of that scene. But to me, I saw enough to know that, girl, she threw something at you and she got escorted away. Okay. So then Danielle get to crying and she get to running off, and rightly so. You know, the man ain't do nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of whether or not he got the man boob or not, he's still a good looking guy. You know what I'm saying? And he obviously loves his wife. So there you go, Danielle. If you know you got what you got, it don't matter what she say. I don't care how many Ferraris she got in her driveway. You know what I'm saying? Period. 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 You got Ferraris, I got love. But then Jennifer might be like, well, I'm in love with my Ferraris. Y'all, if you see this little thing right here, I cut, speaking of white meat, I was shaving the other day and I didn't cut myself to the white meat too. It was the spirit of Jen Aiden all over me. Meanwhile, the next conversation that we got, something happens. While I'm talking about it. So this conversation, this brawl right here leads to Danielle being escorted out for a second, right? And Jennifer's like, I mean, she can't handle the heat. She can't handle the heat. I'm rich and she po, you know. And so at that point, that leads to Teresa and Melissa getting up and arguing about I think Melissa calls the girl white trash. Yes, she did. And I'm like, oh, how y'all get into it? And then Teresa's like, you a hoe. You a hoe. You a hoe. And so then Melissa get to posing for some reason. She's like, yes, I'm going to tell you. How would your parents feel? How would Antonia feel knowing that you call me the hoe girl? You like my outfit? Did you see my commercial ahead of the show? Oh, God. Yes. Yeah. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what is happening right now? Meanwhile, at this point, Teresa is activated. Okay, Marge, girl, you better watch yourself. So next up is Margaret and Teresa. And Teresa's like, F her, F her, F her, F her, F her, F her. And I was like, girl, Margaret, you better sneak, you better sneak it in there. Whatever you about to drop, you better drop it right now. So then Margaret says, oh, wait, I suddenly remember I did have a conversation with the girlfriend, but that was after you and Jen had a conversation with Laura, Margaret's ex-best friend, who had been trying to expose her and get on the show for some time. Now, Margaret should have said this in the beginning, but to my knowledge, the stuff with Louis started before the Laura stuff. I mean, the Laura best friend stuff came into play. Is that not true? Or I can't recall because it's been so much. Anyway, the story has changed, and Dolores is looking like, this lying, see you next Tuesday. You know, she was thinking that in her head. I called her, see you next Tuesday, and then I took it back. I should have now take it back now. Okay. And so, anyway, Teresa's still like, F her, F her, F her. So finally, Margaret, after she done got her story straight, she drops the bomb she has been waiting to drop for quite some time. You know what, Teresa? You subpoenaed me, but you should have been subpoenaing Jackie. Jackie is the one that brought Louis' ex over to her home and met with her. Jackie's like, no, I didn't. You're a liar. You're a liar. Shut up. Shut up. I'm trying to be friend, Teresa, to stay on this show. Poor Jackie. Oh, Jackie, to be as smart as you are, okay, you do not know how to play Mob Wives 2.0, okay? You are not, this show is not for you. You too need to go to Real Housewives of New York, the new version, okay? Because you can't handle the heat either. You and Jen, oh, by the way, Jen Fessler left, okay? Jen Fessler got the crying. I imagine she cried on the way out. Jen Fessler, I can't take this. Girl, what did you think was going to happen when you came into this Ponderosa? What did you think? Okay. What did you think was going to happen when you came to this dinner? Did you think that everybody was going to sing Kumbaya, my Lord? Kumbaya? No. No one, producers knew that wasn't going to happen. So why did you think that? You should have stayed at home. You didn't add no value. Okay. None. Dolores could have got somebody's assistant to do all that. Okay. It was just a couple of gift bags. You know what I'm saying? Why they gonna go destroy that restaurant? DGF 627. Thank you for the super chat. Trey is the golden child. NARC. Not gonna say the word. And Joe, the scapegoat. She uses Melissa to hurt Joe. Bowen family system theory. Learn from Nono and pass the girl. Sad. Now I got to go look up Bowen family system theory. DGF coming through with the terminology, baby. That's why I love this channel. Okay. So now look, Jackie's shaking in the boots. Jackie don't know what to do. She is panting, foaming at the mouth. I'm lying. I'm making that up. Okay. I'm not really lying, but in my mind, she was foaming at the mouth. Did you see it? I felt like I saw it in my mind. In my mind, she was foaming at the mouth. Okay. Foaming, scared. Margaret, I did not do that. And Margaret's like, yes, you did, girl. Yes, you did. I got the proof. I got the proof. I got the proof. And then Jackie cracks. I did it. It was me. I did it, Teresa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girl. You had told everybody that that my husband was cheating on me. So I met with her to get some information on Louis. I did it. It was me. It was me in the library with the candlestick. I did it. I did it. I'm sorry. Jennifer Aiden is like, girl, what? And Teresa, short-circuiting, is like, so I don't care if you did it. It's fine, Jackie. It's fine, Teresa. Okay, come here, girl. Come here. Come here. You dislike Margaret so much, okay, that you are willing to overlook Jackie meeting with the ex because you don't like Margaret, who also not allegedly met with the ex. All the smoke that you was giving Margaret, you now need to be giving it to Jackie. But you so busy trying to save face in the face of this mess that you've created, you didn't create it, but that you got going on with Margaret, that you're willing to let Jackie off the hook, but not Jennifer Aiden. Jennifer Aiden is looking like, no, girl, not on my watch. You just as bad, okay? Which, to be honest, is the case. Teresa, look, wake up and smell the cocoa butter, girl. This lady next to you did the same thing that Margaret did, but Margaret and Jackie did the same thing that you did. So can't nobody really be all that mad because all of y'all doing the same doggone thing. Y'all meeting with these extra people on the side of the show, on the periphery of the show, collecting dirt on each other, trying to take each other down. So ain't none of y'all better or any worse than the other. The problem is, though, Jackie, you are ill prepared for the game that everybody else is playing, which is probably why you're sitting on the bench as a friend. And that's no shade to you, but I'm just letting you know that this is not meant for you. You're not Mob Wives material, and I'm sorry for that. And that's okay. Not everybody's equipped for it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody know how to fight. You know, not everybody's a fighter. You was an attorney. Why didn't you see none of this coming? Oh yeah, Chocolate Soul, baby. I like that name. Wasn't it a few episodes ago Jackie said she was over the whole husband cheating that Trey started? Jackie is spineless. Exactly. I'm like, Jackie, girl, this woman was saying that your husband was cheating on you. And now you just fine with it. I understand if you're doing it for the sake of moving this, like just moving the story along on the show, but it's given a real weird. Okay, it's given really, really, really weird. So to me, Jackie was Jackie and Jen Fessler, the two biggest losers of the day. Okay, the two not be MVPs. All right. Actually, those are MLPs. Wait. Those are LVPs, least valuable players, okay? And I'm sorry to those women. I really am, because they seem like nice women. They really do. I really think that Jen Fessler and Jackie are both probably very nice women, but they're not meant for mob wives. I'm sorry. They're just not ill-equipped. You know who is equipped? Rachel, okay? Because Rachel got a problem with Teresa. And Rachel, to me, now I don't, if it, to be honest with you, I'm going to say it like this. Now, while I do think that some of Rachel's insults to Teresa, like calling her a has-been, ain't really applicable to Teresa. Because you could say a lot of things about Teresa, but she's not a has-been. The show hinges on Teresa for the most part. But if given the opportunity to scrap one-on-one, I think that Rachel would be a match for Teresa, to be honest with you. Because she ain't afraid to get as gutter as Teresa will get. And while I know a lot of y'all don't like Rachel, what I will say is that girl does not back down from Teresa. And I like that, because you need somebody, as much as I don't believe in going low, low, low to the flow. If you got somebody on the show that's going to go low, you need somebody else on the other side of that that's going to go equally as low. Okay. And she matched Teresa's fat. Like, if you got an expletive, I got an expletive, and I'm going to give you the exact expletives you've been waiting on. And I do feel like if let me tell you something. I feel like if they had to go one-on-one, Teresa might beat her up. Now, and I ain't condoning no violence or nothing like that. But I do think that Teresa would think twice about messing with her again. I do. I do. I do. Especially when it comes to that husband. Because the way I was here for keep my husband's name out your effing mouth. I was here for it. I was here for it. But you know what I'm saying? Teresa's the queen bee of the show. You know what I'm saying? So the fight might be edited so Teresa will win. You know what I'm saying? Because Rachel too new, and people don't really like it when the new person comes after the person that they know. Okay. Look at any show that you love, and you will see that. All right. Nothing gets solved there. Okay. They end up yelling, screaming at each other. And then it just kind of descends into, pure madness. At some point in time, Danielle is brought back in because Jennifer is so rich, she don't care. Honestly, nothing is solved. Everybody leaves. The team Margaret, Rachel and Melissa all like giggle and kiki over Jackie Poor LVP Jackie. I mean, she just keep losing all season long. Oh. Anyway, so that was really the end. I mean, so was it as explosive as I thought? Not was it as explosive as they made it seem like it was going to be? No, not really. It really was much of what I expected. But there were a couple of unexpected little things that happened that I did enjoy, okay, for this version of Mob Wives, okay? And so the season is technically over. We will get one more episode that we will recap where they will watch the finale of Off the Rails, okay, at the rails, and they will commentate on what happened. And we're gonna, of course, we're gonna watch it and we're gonna recap it, okay? For those of you guys who are interested. I did want to say thank you guys for tuning in and tapping into this recap. I appreciate you guys so much. Lately, I have been trying to work a little bit less on the weekends and work a little bit less during the week as well, because I've been really focused on my ebook in a day course. For those of you guys who want to learn how to write an ebook and do it in a day, the next thing that I work on will be a course in a day course as well. So, I wake up in the mornings nowadays and I ask myself, how many people can I help and what can I do? Can I write a book? Can I do this? Can I do that? That is why I keep myself so busy. That's what's driving me at this moment in time. So if you see a little less content, that is why. In the members community, I have an interview that I did with Monique Samuels. I will be dropping it this week for the members. I think maybe next week or so for the for everybody else. I just need to do some edits to it and make sure it's polished. But I want to say thank you guys for just for tuning in and supporting the channel. It means the world to me. Y'all know I say this a lot. I love y'all. And when I do these recaps, I mean, y'all know I don't dislike any of these people. We got to talk about what they doing on the screen and what they doing off the screen and how it affects the show. You know what I'm saying? And it's exciting to do it, and it's fun to do it, and it's fun to interact with y'all. So don't take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? Have fun with it. Watch these shows as a comedy, and you will be so much happier with how things turn out, and it won't feel so toxic for you. That's what I've discovered. So with that being said, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Smash the like button if you're watching this on Facebook or if you're watching it on YouTube. And if you are listening to the podcast on Apple or Spotify, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a comment, shout us out, let us know what you want more of. With that being said, I will catch you all in, of course, the next video.